In this episode, we're going to be taking our ECS library and uploading it to crates.io. Crates.io is a repository. If you're familiar with like Node, then it's very similar to like npm, where a ton of modules can be found and downloaded. We're using two of them ourselves. If we take a look at cargo.toml, we have error and this error added in here. Basically, we're going to be putting this up into the same location so that way anybody can then just say dependencies equals BBECS tutorial, for example. That's what I'm going to name mine. You would obviously name yours whatever you want. Now, good things to know here, there is no namespacing in crates.io. So you're gonna have to have a unique name for this. I tend to namespace mine with like BB for Brooks builds at the beginning of whatever I'm making. But you can sort of like take whatever makes sense for your project. Of course, does mean that somebody may have taken your name up already, which can lead to sort of like some interesting names and some other problems with that. Now you also notice the name of this project is now BBECS tutorial. Previously, it was a very long name, and I was doing some like dry runs and practicing for this video, and I realized that crates.io will not accept packages with too long of names, so I shortened it up. Now, the only thing I had to change code-wise was the two use statements that pulled in like use crate BBECS tutorial, essentially. I think we had that up somewhere in here. Maybe it was in the lib. I don't remember exactly where it was in here. But I just changed those out, and now everything will work. So if we want to like actually see how it's going to work, you could just run it with a dry run. That's with this cargo publish dry run here. So we're just going to go ahead and run this really quickly. It's going to compile your code for production, and then it's going to abort before it actually does the uploading. Now, to actually get permissions to upload, you're going to need to log in for this. So that's a cargo login here. And it's going to ask you to paste in a token. It gives you the full URL to go and find the token to download. I don't want to expose my token for all of you to steal, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that as an exercise for you all to get your token and paste it in here. Let's go ahead and actually publish this to crates.io. So I'm going to do a cargo publish. It's going to do the exact same thing that it did with the dry run, but at the very end of this, it should attempt to publish. Now, what we're missing here, it tells us that we're missing some things. So we're missing some metadata fields. So we need a description, we need a license, and it actually has a link to where we need to go to fix this. So let's take a look at this document here. So it says we need a description. So description is a short blurb about the package. So it actually has a section here we can just copy and paste. So we need this like package section. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we have in here for our cargo.toml. Here's the package section. So we could just add in description, and we're gonna make this be, let's see, what should we name this? This is gonna be an ECS library made for a tutorial. And obviously you would put whatever description makes sense for your project here. The other thing is license. So probably gonna be license equals, and then we have to choose what we want it to be. Let's go take a look back into here and find license. Okay, so it interprets license field as an expression. Okay, so it must be a known license from, this here. So we can do, like MIT. We can even use and or to combine. Well, I'm okay with having this be MIT, so I'm just gonna choose that. So license equals MIT. Now let's go ahead and run this again and see if we can publish. And it's not letting me do this. So why is it not letting me do this? Because I have uncommitted changes that have not been committed to Git. So let's go ahead and fix that. We're going to come into Git Kraken here. We're going to update our cargo toml. So updated license and description metadata for publishing to cargo crates.io. Now if I do this again, and there we go. It finished compiling and it uploaded all the code. So if we head on over to crates.io and we search for, well, actually we don't have to search for anything right here. Under new crates, we can see BBECS tutorial right here. Now you'll notice that documentation doesn't show up yet. It will be compiled and hosted for us automatically, just like all the other crates where you can go and take a look at the documentation. It does take some time for that to happen though. So you'll have to check in a little bit later for, to actually see that documentation. But here it is. If I had a README file, then that would be available right here. In fact, this is the contents of the README file that I have. It's really nothing like available for us. But this is now available for us to use in other projects or to share with anybody else who is, wants to use this code. So that is how we deploy to crates.io. We can also deploy to other registries if we have access to them. And then the cargo documentation of how to actually target those other repositories is pretty good. So you can just do cargo help and it will show you the commands that you would need to do that. But that's outside of the scope of this tutorial. Anyways, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.